Hi, hey, and hello there. Obi-Han here, and welcome back to the Comic High Ground. Alright, now, after being late for the previous issue, of Spider-Man, I'm going to be right on time for this one, okay? I'm planning on getting this video uploaded, if not day of, then tomorrow, which would be the day after issue number 3 is out. But regardless, I'm recording my review here, so you all will not have to wait 3 weeks for the next issue video, okay? So it's here now. So again, one thing to notice about this comic is that each issue is literally like the month we're in. So it's January, then February, and then this issue for issue 3 is March. So I guess one thing we should definitely pay attention to is that Peter has had basically 3 months, I guess you could say, to get used to his powers. And so I think it's pretty safe to say that even though he's still a rookie, he's getting a better grasp on how to deal with, I guess, certain situations and fights and everything. He's very much so still on the training wheels, but it's just something to note. But anyway, so this issue starts out with Mary Jane and Richard. And they're kind of looking at Peter and May, and they're like, okay, what's going on? They're up to something. And it's just this funny exchange because Peter and May obviously are probably even closer now that she knows that he's Spider-Man. And so it's like they had their own little secret that Mary Jane and Richard don't know about. So they have their fun little exchange, and then when they walk out, Peter and May look at each other and they're like, so you want to go outside? And she's like, yeah. And so we cut to this scene, or sequence rather, where basically, as we saw from the previous issue, May is not a fan of Peter's costume, so he's using the nanotechnology in his suit. I'm assuming it's nanotechnology, but he's using the nanotechnology in his suit to come up with different outfit designs. And you see all these different designs that are based on like other famous Spider-Man costumes from the past 60 years. And like he has one that's like this Venom looking suit from, actually when you see, and I have it on the screen, it's basically kind of like Tobey Maguire's black suit in Spider-Man 3, but just with a big black white spider. He has the webs and stuff on the costume, but it's like a similar look to that. And then he has like this alternate Ben Reilly look. He has a little hoodie, the red hoodie with black, and that honestly that's a pretty damn cool looking version of the Ben Reilly suit. And I kind of wish they had went with that, but that's not exactly accurate, right? He can't have that Ben Reilly look. So after that, May tells him that there's too much black, so he's like, okay. And he does another costume, and it's like this really red, dark red suit with like a orange or yellowish symbol on it. And I'm not sure, I think this one may be similar to either the Big Time suit or maybe paying homage to the Spider-Man 2099 suit. It's one of the two, or maybe a combination of both. And she says that one's too red, so she says that he should add blue. And then with this blue that he does, is like a blue version of his regular costume, but a big black spider on it. And so she's then telling him, no, not all blue. And Peter says, okay. And he comes up with his classic suit. So now we finally get him in his classic red and blue outfit, and he kind of takes May for a swing around the city. Which, again, you just look at it, that was a cool sequence to see, different takes on all those classic costumes. But now the comic kind of gets straight into business. So Ben and Jameson have found this old busted up building that they can use as their new headquarters, because of course they're starting their own paper. And Peter kind of shows up with this fern, and he's like, ooh, this place kind of jacked up. And they basically had this conversation, and Ben and Jameson tell Peter about the Green Goblin, who has been attacking Fisk in all his different offices and everything. So they have a quick conversation about that, and Peter kind of thinks to himself, well, okay, maybe I should kind of go check on that. And before I move from this section of the story, I have to mention there's a part where he's talking to Ben and Jameson, and he mentions basically Spider-Man, and he's kind of talking about how people are thinking he's a threat. He's like, nah, I think he's a cool guy, real impressionable, really, really cool cat. And then they're just kind of looking at him like, okay. And he's just like, well, it's just an opinion, he's cool. So it's funny that he's trying to, do some damage control for his own image. And honestly, it just kind of makes him look strange because obviously he knows he's Spider-Man, but to Jameson and Ben, they're like, what do you care? But anyway, we cut to Peter, and he decides to go on a stakeout to see if he can catch the Goblin. So what he thinks is going to be something like the TV shows where they stake out and they find their perp, he soon finds out that it's not that easy because he spends what I'm assuming is a few days, if not a week, staking out this place, and he gets to the point where he's like, screw this. But as he's about to get ready to leave, obviously the last day that he was staying there, as he gets ready to leave, he sees that Goblin is chasing somebody, and we find out that who he's chasing is Bullseye. So this is the Ultimate Universe's version of Bullseye. And what it seems to be is that Bullseye is employed by someone who is not Fisk, but someone who is in Fisk's interest. And in the previous issue, we saw that Fisk was kind of answering, but not answering to another power, if you will, someone in the Makers group. So they kind of lead you to believe that that's who Bullseye is working for, and obviously he was paid to take down Goblin. So he pretty much gets the better of Goblin. He manages to light him up with his cards and everything. So he has Goblin pinned down. But before he can actually take Goblin down, Spider-Man pops up, and he kind of has this cool... one thing I'll say about Spider-Man in this universe, he has his one-liners and his intros down. Like, his corny little statements every time he pops into a situation is great, because he shows up here and he's like, now boys, if you can't play nice, maybe you shouldn't play at all. And basically Bullseye's like, okay, well, I can get two birds in one stone. So apparently he's kind of contracted to get Goblin and Spider-Man, it would seem, because that's kind of what he does. He turns his attention to Spider-Man. So he throws these cards at Spider-Man, and Spider-Man dodges them. And then this huge crane of sorts, this construction crane, assumingly falls on him. And then Goblin blasts him, which is only a distraction, because once he turns his attention back to Goblin, he is pretty much surprised to find that Spider-Man obviously dodged the damage, or the crane that was going to fall on him, and he pretty much knocked Bullseye out with one hit. It was really not a contest. So this was pretty much Spider-Man's first W, because Shocker's still running around out there. And Goblin kind of ties Bullseye's hands up, and he's kind of thanking Spider-Man and everything. And Spider-Man's like, well, what's next? I haven't actually caught anybody before. And so I'm not sure where Goblin takes him, but he uses his glider and pretty much snatches up Bullseye, and it takes him somewhere to some undisclosed location. But when Goblin is basically kind of asking about Spidey's suit, he taps on on his chest plate, and then the suit basically says suit pairing enabled. And after that happens, Peter's like, wait, whoa, no, what did you do? Stop that. And so the suit's mask pretty much goes off of his face. And then Harry removes his own mask and is like, oh yeah, I'm Harry. And Peter's like, well, I'm Peter. And so they have this quick chat, and it's like, you know what? Let's go get a drink. Let's talk about stuff that's going on in the world, basically. And Peter agrees to it. So basically that's this issue. And we're going into basically Peter and Harry's alliance, I guess. I don't think it was a surprise to find out that Green Goblin was Harry Osborn. We knew it, and I think they told us that anyway, so that's why I didn't talk about it as if it was some type of shocker. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this Spider-Man dynamic is in this particular comic, because we don't know. I'm assuming they're still gonna fight each other, because that's just what they do. Spider-Man and Green Goblin are always fighting each other. So it is gonna be interesting to see how we get to that point with these two characters, because right now they seem to be cool. They seem to be on the same side, but we'll have to see where that goes, and then how does Fisk fit into all this. So that was basically this issue. They're taking their time with this story. They're doing they're doing each issue and putting a tad bit of information in there and letting you get just a nice little serving, and then it's like, okay, we wait for the next issue. So I'm waiting for things to really kick up. It's good, don't get me wrong, but I'm waiting for things to pick up and really, get crazy in the story, because we know it's going to. It's a Spider-Man book, so obviously he's still kind of in his origin phase. We'll see what happens next as he continues to grow in his superhero journey. But yeah, that's basically my opinion of this issue so far, or this book so far. It's really good. I'm just eager for the really hype stuff to start happening. But yeah, hey, hit that like button if you like what you saw here today. Drop a comment to let me know what you thought of this comic. Did you like it? Did you not? Are you waiting on something else to happen to kind of pick up the action? And hit that subscribe button, please. And remember, we have the high ground. Catch you later.